Hello, good evening. My name is Marjorie Morales, and I am a financial coach and a financial literacy trainer. I do presentations for various groups on financial literacy, different topics. My company, I've been doing this for 12 years in this space, but I've been an entrepreneur working for myself since 2009. And in the process, I've had the pleasure of working with businesses, with education companies, different churches, spiritual, faith-based groups, organizations, nonprofits, and it's been quite a journey reaching out into the community to assist in this way. I'm married. I have two grown children, and I went to school for business administration. Worked over 15 years in corporate America, always dealing with money and management of people, training people, and so forth. But the key is I never learned how money works. So fast forward to 12 years ago, I was introduced to what I do now. And this is where I had a major revelation of not only how it was a problem that I got a degree and I worked with money all my life, but yet never understood how it worked. And I realized that it didn't matter whether you had a finance degree, accounting degree, business degree, everyone was in the same boat. So when I saw that, because we were never taught this information of how money works, I saw how it impacted my family. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't save. I couldn't even reach any of my financial goals. And everyone around me was pretty much like me, even if they were doing well financially, because I wasn't doing bad, but, they were in the same boat. And I didn't understand why until I got exposed to this information. So it became a mission for me, a passion, a vision to go out and empower my community in this way. And the more I got involved, is the more I saw the need for this type of education in our community. Because when bad things happen, we're affected the worst, the minority community. So that's why I formed this company. I've had several corporations over the years, and this one in particular, United Financial Empowerment Network, was formed because I believe that together we can power your net worth because it is a team effort. I must work with professionals, with organizations, with parents within the community in order to bring this information. And it's a team collective effort because I can't want it more than someone else wants it. And I can't do more for you than you're willing to do for yourself and your family. And that includes small businesses as well. So that's the journey I've been on. And had the pleasure of working with schools starting from early education up to high school, up to college level. Currently, I have several interns that I'm mentoring and training in this field because, along with the need for the financial literacy, there's also a need for people to teach this financial literacy because we represent less than 10% of all financial advisors out there. And that's a very staggering statistic because we pay money into the industry, but we don't really get much out, and we're also not represented properly. So I'm working currently with several high schools, several faith-based organizations, and nonprofit organizations to bring this on a mass scale to our communities. So what we do is serving communities and building solid futures. And our mission is to empower communities through financial literacy and proper planning so we can secure our future generations. And my vision, my personal vision, is to change the face of wealth in this country and around the world. And I believe we can do that together. So who we are, we're a team of professionals with over 100 years of experience. So it's not me. I'm not an island. I work with a team, and I always believe that together everyone achieves more. So when we come together, we now are a force that can really move our folks forward, move our communities, our families, our businesses forward. We are very divided as a people, and it's unfortunate because there are other groups that are together and are united and can collectively do a lot more economically and have that power and have that voice. So that's what I would like to see for our communities. So what we do, we empower our communities for success by providing financial education and strategies for individuals, businesses, and creating collaborative relationships within our community. So, as I said before, working with organizations, education programs, and nonprofits. So, if you look at the screen, we've done it all. We've had, seminars within the community where we've taught on first time home buyers, home ownership, tax seminars, so retirement planning seminars, social security, debt management, credit, you name it, we've done it, all in the name of empowering our community. So, and these seminars are always free. We don't charge people to come to them, but we are implementing various programs that will benefit our communities going forward. So we work with small businesses as well and entrepreneurs because we believe if we have strong businesses, then we can have strong families, strong churches, strong communities, and work obviously with education and school programs and faith-based organizations. And I've had the pleasure of working with many elected officials all across New York City to create various programs or assist in empowering our communities through existing programs in this way. And we've also designed programs for nonprofits. So a little bit of what we can do. So we're serving communities and building solid futures. So what we offer financial education and financial literacy for all ages. We offer also income generation and protection, debt and credit management, tax planning strategies, legal assistance, insurance protection, retirement planning programs for seniors, as well as estate planning, and of course, real estate financing programs and entrepreneurial and mentorship opportunities. So, and generational wealth building, that's the really important one. But, the point again is to empower our communities. And that's why our slogan is Together We Power Your Net Worth. And on the screen, there's a QR code, so you can always access information if you need more information through that QR code, and you can input your information and we can set up a seminar for you, set up a seminar for your group, as well as have someone on our team to assist any business owners or individuals or organizations that need more information. So with that said, we're going to dig right into some of our programs. So when we first talked about this presentation, I like to share a little bit of the topics that we offer in our sessions. So it's all about relearning how money works. Why? Because the way we learned it, most of us, doesn't work. So, and why doesn't it work? Because most people have a hard time saving, they have a hard time building, they have a hard time reaching their financial goals, planning for their kids' future, planning for their own future, their own retirement, and God forbid something happens and we lose a loved one, sometimes we have to resort to GoFundMe. So all of these are not the way money is supposed to work. So when we provide this financial literacy for all ages, we're looking to relearn how money truly works so that we can empower ourselves. So some of the basic topics we cover are how money works, basic, intermediate, and advanced. Okay, so we have different sessions. We have $1 Million Baby, so we're going to talk more about that today. And of course, budgeting and savings, getting out of debt. Okay, it's because many Americans, they say if you don't have debt, you're not American, right? Look at our country. They set the example, so we all carry that debt. Proper protection, of course, insurance of all types, because that's the foundation of any solid financial plan. And then we have retirement planning, lowering your taxes, health and wealth, and generational wealth. Of course, that's important because that's something that is not common in our community at all. So we want to start to change that pattern and again, relearn how money works and empower our future generations. So we have the entrepreneurship and mentoring opportunities. So now that is my company, United Financial Empowerment Network, but I'm also a director with World Financial Group, Transamerica Financial Advisors. So through that platform, we are also doing the same work of providing these services, some of these services for our communities. And I'm going to share now an AI interactive tool that we use, and it allows us to share a little bit about who we are, what we do, but also how some of the financial concepts that we teach that empowers our community. So I'm going to jump over to that piece right now.
Welcome. In this interactive walkthrough, your curiosity takes the lead. Engaging questions and activities shape your journey, but you remain in control at all times by clicking the menu icon here. And no matter where you are, rest assured that others have found incredible value in what you're about to uncover. In fact, we believe this moment could very well be a turning point in your life. So let's start by customizing your experience with a few quick questions. First, which of these describes you best? Click all that apply, please. Fantastic. And if you had to choose just one, what would be your biggest financial concern? Next, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank your overall knowledge of financial concepts like these? Slide the button to your answer. Great. And how about taxes? How confident are you that you are minimizing future tax exposure? Again, slide to your okay. And if a recession hit tomorrow and the stock market plummeted like it did in 2008, what would be the impact on your family's financial future? If you were to pass away tomorrow, would your family be okay financially? Just a few more. If you got sick and could no longer work, would you still have enough income to take care of you and your family? Swipe left. This one is fun. If money were not an issue, what would you do that you cannot do right now? Thank you. Based on your responses, these are the topics that may interest you the most. You can come back to the others later if you like, so feel free to explore. Where shall we go first? Our mission is no family left behind. We welcome anyone who has the integrity, drive, and a heart for helping others. No minimums, no one turned away. And we never pre-qualify based on financial status. Those who join us are devoted to creating a future where every family has the tools to succeed. Go ahead and choose another topic, or finish up when you're ready to wrap up. We operate in all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and Canadian provinces, and one of the largest growing teams in the organization. Our agents are contracted through World Financial Group, which gives our agents the ability to offer some of the best companies and products available to the market. We are committed to our vision of addressing biases in the financial industry. What bias? Well, consider these types of financial professionals. Each specialist offers advice within their narrow scope, but no one-size-fits-all solution exists. Recognizing this, we formed strategic partnerships with companies across the industry to directly or indirectly service our clients with many of the financial needs they may have. With more than 175 different companies, we prioritize our clients' interests over corporate affiliations, free from the constraints of only being able to work with one single company. And the best part? Our clients do not pay us directly. Our financial needs analysis is complimentary. We are able to do this because when we set up an account for a client, the company we structure the account with pays us. Go ahead and choose another topic, or finish up when you're ready to wrap up. Since there's virtually no financial education taught in our schools, we focus on providing financial education first, making sure our clients understand the 3 major rules of money. You may be familiar with some of these already, but go ahead and click to learn about each. The Rule of 72 is a mathematical formula used to calculate approximately how long it will take for your money to double. Simply take the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate you're earning, and that will give you the approximate number of years it will take to double your money. So let's say you're 29 years old, have $10,000, and put it where most people do, the bank. And let's say you could even find a bank that pays 1% interest. How many years would it take for your $10,000 to double to $20,000 at 1%? That's right, 72 years for your money to double just one time. You'd be 101 years old. Now, let's say you were earning 10%. Your money would double every 7.2 years. So that same $10,000 would be worth $320,000 by age 65, not 101. The typical question we would get asked here, though, is, how in the world do you get an 8 or 10% return? Make sure you watch the 3 options for your money section to see how. Go ahead and choose another rule of money, or move ahead to move on. There are 3 different ways that money grows. The first option is fixed. An example would be savings accounts, which are typically safe and usually liquid, but the downside is that you typically get very low rates of return. The second option is called variable, which is what most people use in their 401k, 403b, TSP, or other retirement plan. There are years when you can make a lot in variable accounts, but there are years where you can lose a lot too, like in 2008, when the average retirement account lost between 40 and 60% of its total value in just 1 year. That's why the third option, indexing, is so important. Examples of these accounts are IULs or FIAs. Instead of relying on the performance of one particular stock, your account is linked to an index, like the S&P 500 index. Now, indexes are still variable, but with an indexing strategy, you're not putting your money directly into the market. Instead, you're placing it with an insurance company that allows you to do what is called market mirroring. So if you're mirroring the S&P 500 and it went up 10% 1 year, for example, then your account might get credited 10% that year. But the biggest benefit is when the market drops. Since your money is not actually in the market, you may not make anything in a negative year, but you wouldn't lose anything either. It's one of the only ways to participate in the upside of the market without the downside risk. Go ahead and choose another rule of money, or move ahead to move on. Go ahead and choose another topic, or finish up when you're ready to wrap up.
So I'm gonna move on to
Awesome. Our 6-step financial planning process is where we really get to make a difference. Some folks just need help with 1 step. Others need assistance with all 6. And some are looking for ways to find the money to even get started. We can help everyone who is willing. Go ahead and click for a brief description of each step, and move ahead to move on. Traditionally, we had pensions, Social Security, and savings. Now we really only have social insecurity and personal savings. In the building wealth step, we can get your FIN number, build personal bank strategies, higher returns, minimize taxes. Typically, managing your finances means juggling multiple experts, a banker for cash flow and emergency funds, a credit specialist. Go ahead and choose another topic, or finish up when you're ready to wrap up. So by now, you're probably getting a better understanding of why we've had industry record-breaking growth year over year. We're providing financial education that people desperately need. We're representing the client to the industry instead of a company to a client. The companies pay us, so our clients don't have to. And we're helping everyone, from those who need help even finding the money to get started, all the way to the billionaires. So the only question is, what will you say in 5 years? I wish I would have, or I'm glad I did. Will this still be an issue? And will you have been able to do these things? You're going to love what you get to learn when we meet. We'll also have
Okay. So I'm gonna end
a few questions.
I'm going to end it there. Hopefully, you got a little idea of what we do and how we're able to use these financial concepts to build plans for our kids and for ourselves as well. And really, it's all about how money works. If we don't know how money works, one of my colleagues always says that people say, "Well, money isn't everything." It's true, but without money, you can't do anything. So it is a fact. We don't work and it's not always about money, but we have to understand how money works in order to be able to navigate our way in our future. So when we talk about Million Dollar Baby, which is our kids and planning for our next generation, it's a common sense strategy that empowers families to create a legacy for their children without having to be wealthy. Because sometimes when we think about these things, Million Dollar Baby, how much money does that cost for me to put something like that in place? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Probably less than most people pay for lunch for 1 month or coffee for 1 month. So only 20% of children will have an inheritance. So it's time to rethink how we parent and give our kids a legacy, right? When we think of generational wealth, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, J.C. Penney's, Disney's, were they able to pass on this type of wealth for generations and generations, okay? And continued. So imagine if you had the college plan the Rockefellers had for their children. Imagine if you left the kind of wealth or could impart the principles of wealth that they imparted to their children. Where would we be if our parents did that for us, right? This is the reality that we live in here in this country. Student loan statistics, average student loan debt is $33,000. To get a higher degree, 66,000, PhD over 100,000. So the total student loan debt in America is $1.6 trillion. It's the second highest consumer debt, higher than credit cards and auto loans. And we all know it's a crisis. That's why even the candidates talk about it, right? It's a major crisis in this country. So that is already putting our children behind the 8 ball. We're not building generational wealth, we're building generational debt. So there has to be a way for us to not only not put them in under this burden, as you see this character here carrying the student loan burden, which is why so many look for student loan forgiveness and so on, because it's not until they get into work and realize their salary is not even a quarter sometimes of what they're paying back. So how can you get ahead with that, right? So it's not a good place to be. So what are the benefits of $1 million baby? If we put our kids in a better situation, now they have a savings vehicle that is giving them an average rate of return from 8 to 10%. So it's like that video described earlier, right? And we call that compound interest, right? That's what the rule of 72 is teaching us, how to make our money double faster. So we never lose money. We're protecting our child's life, okay? Because God forbid, we don't want to think of the inevitable, but it happens. It does happen. So does that mean we have to have a GoFundMe should something happen? or can we be prepared, um, you know, financially, even though we're not prepared emotionally? And it doesn't affect our financial aid or scholarships. It's 100% tax free. And the reason why this is huge is because whatever money you have in the bank, 401ks, retirement plans, real estate, this and that, all of that has to be declared. And so when you apply for financial aid, although you don't have enough money to pay for the schooling, because you have those things, they disqualify you for the financial aid. So it puts you in a position where you have to go after that student loan, and there goes that debt burden created. Okay. So you can access the money for anything, not just college. If your child decides they want to go a different path, they can still have a start in life with that money. Parents have 100% control of the account, and it now is generational wealth. Why? Because you build something from now that they can you can transfer to them in their adulthood, and they can use that later on to buy a house, to pay for their wedding, and even to continue on until their retirement, and creating perhaps a multi-million-dollar portfolio that you can now live off of the principal, live off of a off of a percentage of your gain, your principal, and guess what? I mean, I'm sorry, percentage of your gains, and keep your principal intact and continue to transfer that legacy on. Okay. And that's automatic approvals, no medical exam. Obviously, they're children. And then you can also have various services that are available on these type of a plan. Okay. So it's an insurance-based program that IUL, we talked about it, the Index Universal Life, but it's a means that you can use not just for protection, but to build and transfer wealth tax free. That is what the real millionaires do. And many, like J.C. Penney, like Disney, they built their wealth off of life insurance. So they didn't look at it like, oh my God, somebody wants me to die so they can get rich. No, they looked at it as a means for them to transfer wealth to their families. And so that's what we should be doing as well, and applying those same strategies to put our kids in a better situation. And when you compare it to 529, because man, that's the catchword, right? For college savings, 529, this is how it compares. They both have tax advantages. The both owner stays in control. They have fixed and variable index options. However, on this side, they can only use it for college. So should your child decide to do something else, now they really don't have those options. They have different programs where you can maybe put some of it towards retirement and so forth, but it's not as much flexibility. Here, you can use it for anything, and you can become like your own bank. Okay, so as we said here, the withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income with a 10% penalty if you start to withdraw it. Here, there's no tax. It's tax free. And they can withdraw it, as I said, to for their first home, start a business, get married, put themselves in a line to have a successful future. And the assets here, again, weigh towards the financial aid they will qualify for. Whereas here, you could put $2, $3 million in this plan. It's a private plan. You don't have to disclose it. Your child can actually still qualify for financial aid. So that is the power of $1 million plan. So which legacy plan is more realistic for you? Option one, leave each of your children $1 million inheritance from your savings, or grow a $1 million retirement for each child, starting with a small fraction of that when they're young. Okay. Option two is far more doable for most parents today. And just to give you a little statistic, the average grandparent gives their grandchild about $2,500 a year between gifts, allowance, birthdays, Christmas, taking them on trips. And so with $2,500 a year, that's what they would get anyway. And where does it normally go? In the bank. And it doesn't do anything. But with that amount of money, you can put them on a path to building wealth and building generational wealth. So whatever the budget is. No matter how small or how large, you can still have that same opportunity for your child and for yourself as well. There's budgets for everything. So we always want to make sure, of course, our parents are protected too. We're not leaving them out. So that is just a little taste of what we do, and what we educate on. And as I said before, I will give you my information because you may have specific questions. So you have this barcode. You can scan, you can put your information in. If you'd like to request a presentation, we can go into more detail information. I kept it kind of general so you can just get an idea, but we can go into specifics. We can go into your specific situation and your specific numbers because all these plans are tailored and customized to you because we want no family left behind without proper education. So thank you again. My name is Marjorie Morales, and it's been my pleasure. And I look forward to helping you secure your future and your children's future, and we doing it together. Thank you.